Okay, we'll start the audit and finance committee meeting. Skip the chair's comments because my comments have to do with financials, which I see the updates in the project committee were for the comments that I had. So if staff would like to review any particular items in the financials, or if anybody has any questions, I guess with the focus on the non-interest bearing loan from the county and funds that are due on the project and the grant reimbursements.
As far as the county loan, we did sign an agreement yesterday with the county. Denise, the county attorney, is working up
I'm sorry, no?
So we should be able to close within about a week or two.
Okay.
So the agreement was reviewed by Kurt.
Good. So 600,000 non-interest bearing will be available within a couple of weeks.
Right.
Okay, and how about, I saw that you had some positive news on the grant. That it looked like we can fly under the radar for the executive orders and should be funded soon, I think is what you were wording.
That's correct. That's what our project engineer indicated. He said that it was reviewed at the higher levels and found to be acceptable under the executive orders. We should be getting our money soon. I'll keep my fingers crossed.
What amount is that we are due this time? What is the amount that we are exactly due?
That they owe us?
Yeah.
$733,000.
Okay.
But that number is going to go up as we continue the project.
Well, the grant's gonna go up or the bill's gonna go up?
Those are,
Yeah.
but we'll submit more reimbursement requests.
But if we get this large chunk, at least we're out of, we're past survival mode, we've got some real debris.
We get to 733 quicker than the next one. We'll be in good shape as far as finishing up the project without doing asking for reimbursement.
But you see from here to there, you see a need to draw on the loan.
Yeah.
That's based on what is owed to Angio Construction and other associated parties? What is owed to Angio Construction, other associated parties?
Right now, they're paid in full for all the work they've done.
Angio is, oh, okay.
What's the current liability at 145,000? We know what that is?
Maybe about 500,000.
No, current liability is 145,378, and accounts payable. Is any of that relative to the Richfield project? That was February month end.
Right. I'm not sure without looking at it, without opening it up.
Where are you looking?
Balance sheet on the second page, liability, and of course, the very top of the page is current liabilities, accounts payable, 145,378. And so then I'll reverse that question, and I apologize, I could have sent these ahead of time, but the $1,087,000 that's in due from other entities.
Yes.
Is the 733 is included in there? And the other 350 is?
We also put in there, the expenses for Roundhouse Road, so the coastal stone paving, and that's the County Highway Department. And so the thought process is that when if the rail yards is ever sold, that the LDC would give that money back to the IDA
So,
for
okay,
doing that work.
it's an intercompany,
Yeah.
basically. I got you, okay.
Due from.
Yeah, due from other entities, yeah. That's been a big question in our audit, all that.
I had a quick question, the profit and loss.
Yeah.
Under income, grant 49,216.
Yep.
And the grants and economic development expense under expense of 49,216.
Yep, so it's a wash, basically that's micro enterprise money, so it
Okay.
came in and it went back out.
Right.
We did make 850, that's the 850 right above in the administrative fees,
Right.
that.
Okay.
But
That explains.
Yeah.
I thought possibly.
Yeah, that's why I had to resend the profit loss. It wasn't in the going out, so
Right.
it's messing up all the
Okay.
numbers yesterday.
That answers my question.
So of the money we're hoping to get, none of it's currently obligated
From,
County,
to someone, not the county, the federal grant we're waiting for Birchfield Springs.
correct.
How much of that is obligated to be paid to anybody else? Or is that replacing our operating capital, which was the reason for the loan?
Yes,
Okay.
correct. That's,
So-
yeah, we've already paid Anjo our money.
Right.
So yeah, when we get that money back, it's our money to use for the next half of our project. in Richfield.
whenever.
Yes, when it happens.
Any other questions? Any other comments from staff relative to the budget?
I was gonna say, we do have, I mentioned to you, we have a CD from in the CRC that's maturing tomorrow. We were gonna put that back into the checking account. Right in front of me is, I think it's about 300.
Is that, given the fact that in 2 weeks you may have 600,000, is that a necessity?
Well, I thought it would be nice to just have in the checking account, and if we
Okay.
could get that money, we could put it back into another CD.
Well, we have 600,000 coming from the county
Yep.
and 700 or whatever.
I could keep it
I
and
mean,
let it renew. That's
I would feel
fine.
better if it's working for me and earning money.
Okay,
So I think the question is cash flow wise, can we leave it in the CD or can we not?
If we renew it, it goes for 15 months.
You can renew it for
Yeah, we
any
can.
Whatever
period.
term you want.
Yeah.
we can switch the term, because I would need to check the rates with them anyway, so.
Rates have come down somewhat.
Yeah.
since
Yeah,
we took that.
still should get something for it.
Yeah, you can still be in the force.
Yeah,
So I'll renew at a lower term, shorter term, or,
Why don't we take this
Okay.
offline?
Yep,
If
yep.
the, we'll take a look at
yeah,
it.
because the shorter length probably has a higher interest.
Yeah.
rate.
Shorter length, lower interest rate.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
but there's not a lot of gap.
okay.
So I'll talk to both of you
Great.
offline.
Makes sense.
Any other comments or questions?
Jody.
New or unfinished business?
Only other thing is I talked to the auditors, they are gonna do a single audit, federal single audit. It's gonna be a higher price for the audit this year. But assuming that we're gonna get this money, I can't say that don't do a single audit this year.
No,
because
It's
Do things
3,500.
it may be a violation.
Do you have any idea how much higher?
3,500
higher or total?
higher. It'll be another 3,500 on top of what we already paid for our audit. But it's not due until September, so we can focus on our current audit and get that done, and then I think when tax season is done, Jason can come in and do a full.
This means an error.
Yep, correct, yes.
Okay,
So I just
Any-
wanted to bring up the Oneonta Theater, whether that needs to be done in executive session or not, but again, I think we need to get back to what we're doing there and how we're approaching them like we did Foothills.
I reached out to Chris, I think like a month ago, you guys had brought it up, and so I kind of put it on his radar, and he said that he wasn't involved. I don't know if you guys remember when he sent the letter, probably like 1.5 years, 2 years ago to Foothills, and he said that he was going to look through all that documentation, he'd get back to me, and I haven't heard from him yet, so I will reach out to him and see if he's done anything on that, and if, I guess it would be just sending another letter at this point.
Yeah, I feel like we had to get a little bit more at the same table to have the conversation in terms of discussing a repayment plan and kind of negotiating what that might look like. So just, yeah, I don't know what the board's appetite is for, again, doing that. It doesn't feel right to me that we pursued that with Foothills and have not done that with Oneonta Theater, but,
agree. I mean, there has to be some discussion about, we can't just
Right.
sit forever.
Yeah, well, Foothills responded to that letter, whereas Oneonta Theater just
Right.
didn't. So I guess it's the next step.
CC me on that when you talk to Chris.
Chris?
Yeah.
You know who the contact person is, that the letter went to previously?
It went to Tom Lemire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should probably go to Elaine Brzee, who's the chairman and president of the Friends of the Oneonta Theater.
I think the thought process, if I'm going back to that meeting, was that the loan was with him, right? So that's why, and then we didn't, and then there was
No,
a
I
whole
thought-
issue over who bought it and.
Yeah, I thought there was
Who
it was
signed?
directed to him, but a CC to the other interested
the-
parties that might have taken an ownership interest in.
They definitely knew about it, right? That group knew about it.
I just
so.
think we should sue the shareholders individually.
Sure. It's a corporation, same.
That's why I want to get involved with Chris too.
Okay.
If you don't mind. Yeah, thank you. Anything further for audit and finance? No? Have a motion to adjourn?
So,
My turn, Cheryl?
Yep, go for it.
Okay. Projects Committee.
thanks.
I was reading your notes here, Jody. Inside the first page, the PSC staff. Is there an update from this, or is this the most current thing? About we might make the agenda now?
Looks like we're gonna be on the agenda, what was it, 20th? I think it was March 20th. They, PSE has, staff has indicated they have all the documents they needed from us and Ella and Audit and bring it together for this. Schedule for this month.
Have they indicated it's going to be on the schedule, or we just hope that it will? I mean, is that common? I don't talk government, so does that mean it's going to happen?
It's up to the PSC commission,
So they look at it.
yeah. I'm assuming it will be on. Because I don't think the staff would say we're putting it together 20th. If it wasn't gonna be on. Looks like it's gonna be part of a consent agenda, which means the commission would vote on all of the actions at once, so they're not going to individually look at projects. Angel Construction is getting ready for the spring construction. They're ordering new equipment. And the county, as I indicated earlier, on the finance did approve $600,000 loan, zero interest, 1 year, with an option to extend it.
What is Angel gearing up for? That's my
You
question.
can't put the pipe in the ground, what is it left
The
undone?
water sewer lines are in, they can't really, you can't really pave if you're gonna tear it up to put gas lines in. Or are they gonna go ahead and pave it and then tear it up later?
No, we've been in discussion with them that they're going to do the excavation for the gas line. So
Yeah.
planning on doing that probably in March, April, and
Providing
then they'll pay.
that it gets approved at the March meeting.
Right.
Okay.
Have we done a change order for that yet, or?
No, we have not yet. Because we didn't know if the PSC was gonna approve it.
We still don't know, really.
Yeah, still, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Any other updates for projects Committee, Jordan? Good news on moving?
They're gonna do the excavation, but NICEAG themselves or NICEAG hiring another company to put the gas line in.
NICEAG indicated that they're gonna have another company put the gas line in, because Angelo says they can dig the trenches and cover it up, but they're not well versed in gas installation.
And who's paying for that gas line?
We are.
And who makes a profit off of that gas? NICEAG?
Yes.
I think that's.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect relationship.
Yes.
That's honestly, that's the only reason the PSC approved it,
Is what?
is because we're paying for the line. Because they said if it had to go to the NICEAG taxpayers, the rate users, they don't want to increase rates.
Yeah, but people need gas, so.
Yeah.
No thinking, no surety.
Moving on.
Moving right on. What else we got good news for us?
So in your package, we do have the project trackers, I'm going to be updating so all of the ones that are in gray that are completed, over the bottom of the list, and we will only have active projects up on top. But this has been updated. We'll update it roughly every quarter, every 3 months, to give you a revised list.
Okay, update on, if you're ready for a pony farm, are things coming into order so we can look at closing next month?
We're hoping to, yes. As far as the archaeological work that was done, I did talk to Dave, the archaeologist, yesterday, along with the potential buyer's attorney. And he indicated that they're putting together a memorandum of agreement that has to be signed by all parties, basically spelling out what the work is. They have to have DEC sign it, they have to have Historic Preservation sign it, they have to have us sign it. And I think the Indian tribes have to sign it as well, so that everybody's aware that this is gonna happen. After that, they anticipate it'll take 3 weeks to do the actual archaeological dig.
You mean we haven't started anything archaeologically? Have they poked around and the people from Gilbertsville, have they done anything yet, or are we still getting ready to start?
Well, there's two things. One is they had to go in and do an assessment,
Right.
and they went in and basically did sample testing along the whole thing. Every, I think, meter, they had to go in and test to see if there was any significant artifacts. Now they're actually gonna go in and do a full dig on the entire area, not just random samples.
The entire area they think has something.
Right. And they anticipate that they will collect all the stuff and keep it in their office unless somebody has an objection to that. So
It doesn't seem like a short project with the state though.
it's actually a lot shorter than some of the other yards.
No, I'm saying, this is March. We want to close in April, and we still have the dog and pony show to live through, that nobody's in a hurry yet. So what are we, May or June realistically?
I would think May or June is probably realistic. But once the dig is done, and that only takes 3 weeks, the archaeologist will send a letter to all the affected agencies saying we're done with our dig. And then at that point in time, the State Historic Preservation will send a letter saying you're authorized to go to construction even before the final report is prepared by the archaeologist.
When can we sell it? I don't care about construction. When is it okay with the buyer? He has enough information from his attorney that it's okay to transfer ownership.
Probably in 3 weeks.
In 3 weeks from now.
No, 3 weeks from when they start the
From the
dig.
start.
You said it takes 3 weeks to complete the dig.
I think once they start the dig, it'll be
When are they gonna start?
probably in April.
After everybody signs off.
Right, so it'll be 3 weeks from when they start in April.
Right.
So how did they draft a memorandum of understanding if they don't know what they have yet? What are they agreeing to?
They're agreeing to the document that was prepared by Birchwood that says this is what we're going to do.
That's just scope of work?
And that's going to be their scope of work, and everybody has to sign a memorandum of agreement that they've signed off on this in order for them to proceed.
Okay, so,
In order for Birchwood to proceed.
Right.
And so if Birchwood finds a Tyrannosaurus Rex down there, the world changes.
We're wealthy.
But, I mean, the buyer's gonna go ahead and transfer ownership, get started and work around them. I mean, I don't see I think we're still on hold in June.
I don't think he's going to start construction.
Well, I want to even take ownership unless I have all my risks aren't covered yet till I know.
He's not anywhere near ready to go construction.
What about get paid and sign?
when is he comfortable taking ownership is what he's asking?
Yeah.
Not construction, taking ownership of the property.
I will ask him. I haven't asked him that question.
It would be unlikely that he would be willing to do that until the completion of the 3 weeks.
That's what I would suggest.
We were, a few months ago, we were talking about doing this in March, April. Now realistically it's May, June. At this current rate of travel, we'd have to speed up to come to a complete stop. You know, I know that independent business people like to move, so I'm worried about losing the buyer. As we, you know, it's the state, it's all the things we have to do, but man, somebody's gotta get hurt in their step, somewhere. But it all goes together and it goes fine.
The owner has been looking for a site for 2 years.
And he's probably still looking because he hasn't bought one yet. I know the personality, okay? I live that life. Until he buys something, he's not done.
So he's fully aware of this timetable at this point?
Yes.
Well, we were talking to him about April a few months ago. Right? I mean, as we were talking October, November, we talked about April, we could close on it. I'm worried about just putting it off. Everybody has instructed.
I think, Tom, the reality is we're not putting it off, right? We're following the steps. Everyone's
we're
being
doing what we need to do.
communicated to throughout, right? And so there's nothing we're gonna be able to do in terms of the archaeology, situation that we're in front of. And if it's 3 weeks at 3 weeks, I think the idea is we've got the property line adjustment that we're moving on that. And then you've got the archaeological study we're moving on that. So again, my conversations with Jody is that's been clearly communicated with the buyer and the lawyers. In the end, there's not much we can do to speed that up,
No,
is the reality.
No one's going anyplace until historic preservation signs off on it.
Correct.
That's for sure. So on the, and Cheryl brought up the line adjustment. Is that gonna be, sort of parallel with the archaeology?
Yes, when I talked to our attorney a couple of days ago, on Friday last week, he indicated that he would think that within 30 days, they would have this agreement signed off.
Okay.
He's aware of our timeframe and is trying to expedite it. I did sit down with Mike Manos, project manager at the building yesterday, 2 days ago, and he was gonna talk to Mike about getting this document signed for approval.
okay. So that's an update on Pony Farm. Anything else in the works, in the wind? I will compliment you on your annual report.
Yeah, I won't go through that, but I do want to go through,
Well done.
it's in draft form right now, there'll be some changes to it.
Good share.
Okay, at the last meeting that we had, board meeting, there was some concern that we should have on our webpage all of the properties that are available for sale or for lease in our county, not just our IDA properties. So I had a conversation last week with a company out of Georgia that does this work. They actually reached out to us. And I asked for some examples of their work that they've done. This is Wayne County, New York. Their Economic Development Department on their webpage. And in here, they have sites and buildings. And when you click on it, it'll give you a map that shows all of the property that, in this case, there's 54 listings. You can click on each individual one. And it will give you a shot of what property it is, in this case, Silver Hill Technology Park, 90 acres, light industrial. There'll be contact information as to who you can contact. And on other ones, this is on 700 North Street, 5,000 square feet, what county it is, contact information. In this case, it's Greenville Realtors Real Estate. So this company indicated that, and I was quite surprised, normally it costs like $30,000 or $40,000 to have this done. They said they will do it for $6,000. They go out by themselves and contact all the realtors, any private individuals who have buildings for sale or lease, and they will map everything and put this on our webpage. I think this is probably the way to go, because we don't have the resources to contact all the realtors and input this stuff, and keep it up to date. They update it once a week, they said, so that they're constantly referring and adding new stuff and taking stuff off. And I think for $6,000, it's worth it.
Now, is that a one-time fee or is that a $6,000 each year?
It's $6,000 each year, it's a one-year contract for $6,000.
Is that for putting up a video, an inventory of what we currently have and it sits there for a year, or you say they're updating and adding and taking off as things transact?
Yes,
Realize probably have an income stream from real estate people on the other side to pay for the rest of it. So good amount.
Is this do you know if they're, excuse my IT ignorance, but do you know if this is a manual process on their side of contacting and updating, or do they link to the actual listing agents and have a set of data that if a property matches certain metrics, get automatically
We could easily
populated?
do that.
You know?
I don't know. I have a call in and we've been playing telephone tag with the executive director for Wayne County's economic development. Because I want to get his viewpoints on that. That's one of the questions I asked him.
Yeah, how long do they do it?
And whether they're satisfied with it. So I will have that information for our next board meeting. But at this point in time, I'm seriously looking at this is probably the best option that we can get our information. And I don't know what the part.
Worth checking into.
Yeah. Information.
Anything else in projects, Joe?
Go back to Zoom. When you make yourself. Go back to Zoom. And then hit stop share.
On the project committee under the inventory of available sites, that's the link to this webpage. So if anybody else is going to check it out for themselves, you can do that. And that's really all I have for project.
Okay, any new and or unfinished business? Anything else can move the motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so we're opening up the governance committee, and I think we have one main agenda item, and it's the appointment of the search committee, and I'll turn it over to Cheryl.
Yeah, so at this point, we have Patricia, Tim, and Andrew. Craig was on the fence, and I don't see him here today. So at this point, I would say the three of you would be kind of the champions here. I do not have a chair individual, so I don't know if one of the three of you is willing to do that. If not, I can step in and do that. My goal would be actually really trying to hook up with more of an HR kind of resource that you guys might have to help out with a lot of this. So again, I haven't had a chance to talk to my main recruiter, but that is something I could potentially offer after conversations with her based on her capacity. But I don't know if one of the three of you is willing to step up and want to take on the chair role. If not, I can do that.
I'd be willing to do that, Cheryl.
Oh, okay, great.
In the job description, I'm all over it.
Okay. I'm still squeezing for some salary for you there.
But I can use our HR department to help with this thing, because I think before part of the issue was really whether it was widespread enough and we didn't have a lot of applications, et cetera, et cetera. And so if that's all right with Tim and Andy. Okay.
Both shaking their head, yes.
Absolutely, thank you.
And again, Patricia, I'll, extend if you need any additional support, I can reach out to my HR team as well. And so I think it's just a matter of now figuring out cadence of meeting and, where do you want to kick off? I can join you for that as we talk about kind of job descriptions and going back to that strategic document where we had job roles outlined to say, how do we want to post this and all that kind of stuff. But thank you very much. I appreciate all three of you for some of the committee and Patricia taking on the chair role. Appreciate it.
And maybe if we could think about having a meeting after our next board meeting and have that be the kickoff, we'll all be there hopefully in person, and it'd be a good opportunity, I think, to kick it off then and make out a timeline without adding another meeting to everybody's schedule.
Sounds great.
All good? Okay.
That was it.
So I think we are going to close governance then.
Great.